What's your name? Have we ever met before?
Daryl.
Daryl Lee.
Daryl Lee. Okay.
Who are down words? Yes. And then
Around.
the ocean
And
goes
if we were
around.
going the opposite way, we'd run into each other.
Yeah.
Not like this. That'd be weird.
No, that's definitely not. We're not docking. So.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Right.
JoJo.
What?
Okay, never mind.
In
Please.
my lungs.
I got hip in my lungs. Feeding our strength of character, perseverance, and passion for long-term goals. That's what grit is.
Well,
It's
we
good.
don't have that in society anymore.
I know.
I was raised with that. Kids should like get hit on the way into school and be like, "Here's your grit."
You're welcome.
Oh, I thought it was the grits you threw at him.
Grits?
Yeah, like breakfast.
Oh no!
Oh, boy.
I'm on point, he says. He points at his beer. What did you point on?
No, what's
Work
it?
with this. How am I supposed to work with this?
Very carefully.
He looks like he's gone into a deep sleep. He's sitting with his eyes open. Somebody took too much allergy medication today.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. We're here in Tyler's basement. We're gonna chat about a few things. I'm MJ, and what's your name?
I'm Tyler.
Are you
Tyler.
sure?
Yeah, I'm looking.
He said tired.
Dude,
I'm tired.
I'm very Tyler, but I'm tired.
But I'm tired. I'm very Tyler, but I'm tired. Wait, what'd you say?
That's what I said.
Today we're going to talk about just a couple of things. We've got who we are, which is probably pretty important considering nobody really knows who we are. Well, I should probably point out that we do have a guest, but he's hidden. So you might hear him in the background every once in a while. Because he's hidden.
Did you don't quote him?
Yes, you do. Because he's not really hidden. I can see him. He's right in front of me, but he's not in front of them. Okay, so I'm MJ, and I'm literally just along for the ride. Because Tyler kind of started up True Sanity in his brain. What was it? 2 years ago?
Yeah.
No, it's definitely your idea.
2
He
years ago.
He put some ideas on a piece of paper, one piece of paper, and he put, this is what I want to do, this is what I don't want to do, this is what the name's going to be, and then it sat in that book for how long?
Almost 2 years.
Almost 2 years. And then when we first met, we spent a night on his back porch, which sounds terrible. He said it out loud. It's okay.
I don't think it sounds that bad.
No, if I said my
If it
back
was
porch,
your
it'd be a little
back
weird.
porch, that would be worse.
So we spent a night. What did we drink? Did we drink beer?
Yeah, you had 2 Bud Lights. That was your
Right.
That was it.
See,
2 times you came up, you had 2 Bud Lights.
I had 2 Bud Lights. And the first night, what was it like? How many hours did we talk?
15 minutes. All right, I'm Tyler. I'm a lineman by trade, and now I'm a trainer, and I've been a lineman since I started in '02, so that's what I do. I don't know what I'm doing in this field, but now I'm a trainer. I've been a trainer for 4 years. Got a couple of kids, been divorced. I like to go fast.
Drink beer when you can.
But I grew up with essentially a good family. Parents were always there. A couple of siblings, and just basic stuff. That's just kind of that's a little bit about me. And we'll get into more of it, but that gives you a basic idea, and we can go into better talking points. So it's really typically very short and sweet. I get up in front of 25, 30 linemen. I'm like, all right, I've been a lineman since 2003. In 2013, I got into the training scenario.
Yeah.
I train on barehanding, lag line work, hot stick work, which everybody goes like, huh? What?
Yeah. Well, I didn't
What?
understand it until I actually watched it. Barehanding?
I mean, I understood that in a year.
Well, I'm MJ. I moved to Colorado 9 years ago with my ex-husband. So I am divorced. I have a sister. I grew up in Tucson, Arizona. Let's see, what else do I need to say?
When I grew up in Utah, I only have one mom.
Okay, so I grew up in a trailer park. Yep, sure did. And my father was a truck driver. My mother, I didn't know. He took us from her when I was like 2. We lived with babysitters. He was gone all the time as a truck driver. Grew up, with kind of a stepmom, grandmother type of situation.
In the abandoned hotel, the hotel thing.
Well, I live. It's cool. It is
cool.
actually very cool. So when I was between 10 and 12, my father lost his CDL, and the only place that he had for us to stay was an abandoned hotel. It was called the Donkey Inn. It's actually still in Tucson, Arizona. However many, it had like 10 rooms, all on a single story. My sister and I lived there with my father, and then a couple of his friends would go in and out and stuff, but it was an abandoned hotel. So there was no hot water. There was electricity from time to time, and I'm not really sure how that worked, but it was gross. It was run down. But the weird thing about it was that we actually liked to be there, because the other situation we were in was way worse than that. We were with I don't even know what to call her. She wasn't my stepmom because there was no marriage there. She was my babysitter's daughter, who was 16 when I met her. She was very much into drugs and alcohol, and she had multiple men in her life who beat her up, and she did drugs, they did drugs. Like, it was a shit show. But anyway, we won't get into that. So I grew up with her. My dad took us from her because we told him how bad the situation was. He took us for about 3 months, put us into the school when we lived in the abandoned hotel, and then he had to give up because he didn't know what he was doing, because he also was an alcoholic, and he also was doing drugs, and nobody knew how to take care of the Johnson sisters because we were a handful, I guess. Anyway, so that happened. Went back to my stepmom's house, lived with her, and I think there were probably at the worst point in time, there were like 8 kids in the house, maybe more, in a trailer, and I think there were maybe 4 bedrooms. But we moved out of there, and everybody left. So everybody started running away. A couple people got arrested. A couple of the kids got arrested. I was the last one standing. At this point, she had, I'm not going to say any names because I just feel like that's probably not a good idea, but she had 2 daughters and a son. And the daughter was a little bit older, so she kind of understood what was going on, because she was at the time about 8 or 9. And then son and younger daughter, son was 2, younger daughter was only a year. And they were in the worst situation because the house was disgusting. We lived in a single, what is it, a trailer?
Single wide?
Single wide, thank you.
Yeah.
Single wide.
It had wheels on it, though, right?
It did.
You still had the wheels on?
It had wheels on it still.
Shit, you can move anytime you want.
It's not good. But I found out that they were getting taken by CPS. So the moment I found out they were getting taken, I ran away. And I was 13 at the time. I stayed with a friend. I ended up emancipating myself with my father's signature because he was in and out. But then I ended up living on my own. I was living on the streets, and I think I slept on a park bench for about 2 weeks. And then I met a family that, this is a lot. It's a lot to think about. They took me in and basically treated me like family, and then I had stability, and I had respect, and I had love, and I think that that's probably what So I took that route because when I was very young, I was like, I'm not going to be like this woman. I'm not going to be like my father. I'm pretty sure I made that decision when I was 3 or 4 years old. When I was sitting there literally picking out stems and seeds from marijuana and then bagging marijuana up and weighing it and stuff and then selling it to her druggies at the back door. I was like 3 or 4 when I started doing that. Did I ever tell you that?
Yeah, part of you.
Yeah. And I made that decision when I started doing that, and then when I saw her first boyfriend hit her, I was like, no, I don't want to be like this woman ever. So I chose the people that I wanted to spend time with, and I chose not to do drugs. When I was 15, I met my husband. We'll talk. Wait, I don't think I want to get into that. That's not a good idea. That's a whole other story. So 15, 17 years later, I was here. We divorced. And I divorced. I think we separated September 2019, and then I met you November 2019, right?
Yep.
And then I think we spent that night out on the back porch. What was it? Do you remember? It doesn't matter. It was within a couple months of that.
It was nice outside.
It was very nice, yeah. So it couldn't have been. It was November then. It had to have been, right?
I don't know. Honestly, I can't tell you.
Oh no, it wasn't. It was months after that because we met.
Clear into the next year.
Right. It was June. It was June of the next year, June of 2020, because we hadn't actually communicated or talked until Facebook when you ran into Leah.
Yes.
And you're like, you're friends with Leah? And I was like, yeah, I'm friends with Leah. And then kind of went from there.
So with all the introduction and all that stuff,
yeah,
that's like my upbringing was substantially more stable.
Right.
But I think that's why we get along so well. It's like basically I listen to you and I'm like, oh, I had a good. Yep. Builds appreciation.
But we've also talked about that, and they're all struggles and childhoods and how we perceive them. It's all relative. Right?
It's all relative. That's one thing that we say a lot, both of us together, is like everything's relative based on your situation, how you perceive it. Mm-hmm. So
I perceived mine when I don't even remember thinking that it was bad. I remember just like when you're in it, you don't even think. You're like, this is just how it is. This is how it is for everybody, right? This is how everybody grows up. Yeah. And then I don't think it was until I was like 22, maybe 23, when I started talking about it. People were like, that sucks. That's a shitty situation. And I was like, really? No, it's fine. I mean, I don't really know anything else. Yeah. So anyway, so we met. We hung out the first time in June, and we talked about. We talked about everything. We talked about life and marriage and divorce and some philosophies and other stuff. We don't really need to get into that, but it was like many hours. Wasn't it a few hours?
Yeah.
We hung out. Had a couple beers and hung out for a few hours, and then what happened after that?
We hung out a few times.
I just got here, so I don't remember.
I don't know. We hung out a few times, and then I brought you coffee, and you got scared shitless, and then you ghosted me.
Yeah, we were gonna go on a ride.
Yeah, we were gonna. Yeah.
And then I stayed up way too late.
I still went.
I know.
It was beautiful.
I know. I saw pictures.
Anyway.
Yeah. So I got terrified of what it felt like, because the way that he was just very stable. It felt stable. It felt good. Oh my gosh.
Shit, we recorded that.
I think my whole life I was like addicted to chaos because I had so much trauma. So there's like a trauma response, and there's a thing that you're drawn to when you go through all that stuff. And I didn't know this until probably about 3 years ago when I started doing research on the things that I was feeling and thinking and stuff. But when I met him, I was like, that's way too stable, and that's no.
And then you met him.
I need chaos. I need chaos in my life.
No fun.
There's
no way too.
I did think you were in the military, actually. I told you that, though. I thought you were like a Marine or in the Army.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Anyway, so that happened, and then
He just keeps
just alignment.
Just alignment. I don't think that's true. What is happening? Tyler's got allergies. He took 17 Zyrtex.
Just 2. It says 1 every 24 hours. It'd been 12, I figured.
It's time for one.
I wasn't doing it. Well, it was expired, so, whatever.
Yeah, he's like, well, then the potency's down, so I need to take 2.
Like, it's not potent enough, so I'll have a beer.
Great idea.
Moving on.
Okay, anyway, so we, so True Sanity, let's talk about what the heck that is, because obviously we veered off course a little. Right?
You want me to try to talk about what I think I had going on at that point?
Yes.
So, kind of the theory behind all that is me being who I am, where I was at the time. I didn't figure I had any reason to essentially, I guess, complain or talk about my situation. I was always that guy that was perceived as, the white picket fence. Nice house, wife, 2 kids, everything going on, and but internally, I pushed myself very, very hard to the point where I was breaking myself. And when I finally figured out that I could talk to somebody, I had been already on a rough ride. And so basically is how it came about was I started talking and started going through this whole process that got me to where I am now. And I kind of visualized it basically as I looked like a very collected, always put together, had everything going, sane person as you would perceive it. But I don't think anybody's truly sane, and that's where this name came to me. It's like, you're full of shit.
Jordan.
Peanut gallery. So blind you.
It is really nice, isn't it?
But essentially is what it is I didn't figure anybody was actually truly sane. So, I mean, it was given that definition to myself, and you got lost there.
I totally understand because I did it a couple times. And
Okay, it's good talk. See you tomorrow. Shit.
Video's over.
Actually, I hit it really well for a very long time. And I'll go into more of this later, but I was literally, I drive a lot for work, and I was having panic attacks for essentially hours at a time and just completely getting lost. I'd go 100 miles and never even remember a mile of it. And it didn't really set in. I just thought, it's stress. It's stress. It's just the way life is. Everybody's stressed. But turns out it wasn't. It was way beyond that.
Stop laughing.
I'll explain that in really good detail later.
No.
I remember when I came to your door.
Yeah.
I knocked on your door.
It's like 6 o'clock at night.
Yeah, you popped the door open.
Huh?
Do you remember what I said?
Just want to make sure you're okay.
No, I said I just wanted to make sure you weren't dead.
Oh, that's what you said.
And then I walked away. It's like,
Sierra had to do that once too. She was like, you haven't responded to my text in 3 days, and I want to make sure you're alive. And I'm like,
I just came up 40 crooked ass stairs to see if you weren't dead.
They are. They're
nice stairs, but very close together.
Big eyes, but a nice what? Okay, so then we reconnected and cheese. You want some cheese?
Yeah.
You got nachos?
Nachos.
Where? What happened?
Okay.
Okay. Okay. We said a lot. Okay, so okay, so
did it again.
So nacho
cheese.
Nacho Libre.
We talk about it. We talked about it. We talked about it. Talk about it. Talk about it. Tacos. I feel like we're supposed to have tacos or Mexican tonight.
I feel like I'm taking crazy pills.
What's going on? It's a fishbowl.
I'm like, case of emotion. All right, so there's that. We basically talked about True Sanity, and I loved the idea because I was like, oh my gosh, that's amazing. And then also I knew the story behind why True Sanity, why you came up with it, like the idea behind it, and I was behind it. I was like, yes, it's a good idea. And then we were like, well, we should do something with this. Let's like help people.
That's because we're all crazy.
That's, yeah.
When it comes right down to it, we're all crazy, and we just need to learn to talk about it. I mean, that's it. If you talk to somebody, and there's a lot of people out there that'll listen, it's hard to look at somebody and they're like, "Oh, listen to whatever you say," and you're like, "Oh shit, you can't handle what I got to say." But truly, there is a lot of people that can actually listen, and they might be blown away, and they might have a look on their face like, "What the fuck is going on here?" But I can say that.
Yeah. Yes, 100% is our video, and our friends will.
But the bottom line is, if I would have started talking about this stuff years prior to it, would have changed the chain of events in my life. I may have not got to the negative point it was. I may not have hit rock bottom, but I also may have needed that. I don't know. It's just a juggle of crap all in the same thing.
To talk about it or not to talk about it.
But the bottom line is, we're here to let you know that you should talk about things. If it's hard to know how to even start that conversation, but if you're open, it'll go there.
Yeah. All right. So
we're done.
No. He's like, get me out of here.
You're a broken leg.
Okay. So the next topic that we're going to discuss
is dogs. We're all going to become vets.
Like we're vets?
Oh shit, no. Well, yeah, probably with the way that.
That's another day.
That's the whole world issues.
Okay, so listen. Why? You're with the like, and I'm with the queso. Talk about it. All right. So let's talk about something that's kind of positive, right? What we talked about, but it's also there's a little bit of sadness there. So let's talk about something better. Something that's more uplifting, something that makes people feel good. How about that? Also, I need you to be a cheerleader. You need another beer?
Yeah, I'm gonna get one. Did you want one? Since we're all fucked up.
Probably.
Yeah, I'll give you.
I have one.
I'll give you the tip. A tip.
I'm good. Just the tip.
Wow.
So what do we got now?
Okay, so next topic, we're going to talk about winning the day. Right?
Yeah.
We struggle with it.
Well, I mean, yeah, the definition of winning the day, I mean, you have to define it for yourself. I feel like personally, you have to figure out what winning the day means. It's like, how many goals are you going to set? How many are you going to accomplish? And, everything I've listened to and read about lately is like, set something small. Like, I'm going to drink 5 glasses of water.
Right.
Or I'm going to get up 15 minutes earlier. You can't just send it and be like, I'm getting up 2:30, 2:24 in the morning. Like, what's that guy's name? Ben?
I don't remember his last name. He's the baseball player?
No. This guy's he's a high-ranking athletic coach.
Oh.
Anyway, that comes to me later. But he gets up at like 2:24 in the morning. Everything's done before 6 o'clock. You can't just send it like that. You got to start one little piece at a time. Otherwise, you burn yourself out. Yeah. That's my theory.
Yeah,
I burn myself out all
the time. Do you think you do?
I feel like I need to creep a little. Not even bad.
You want to be a creep?
Slowly scale my goals for daily winning.
Right. That's a good idea. So we've got, hi, get over here. Say hello to the camera. No, you don't want to?
Hello to my little friend.
Hello.
I have one. Thank you.
Ready?
Very sweet of you.
1,
Oh.
2. This one's 1, 2.
Wait. We
Okay,
clearly
we'll
don't know what we're doing.
Getting better.
We'll do that later. Yeah, for sure. So.
Drinking because.
This is stressful. No, it's not stressful. It's
not stressful. It's just
awkward.
Not. We're trying to make it unawkward.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay, is that a word?
Okay, so.
Does that have a hyphen?
Unawkward? Dash hyphen.
Kind of like our
True dash sanity because somebody stole our other one. Yeah.
If anybody wants to buy that for us and give it to us.
Yeah, $2,400.
I found it for $1,699. That's $1,609.
Really?
No phones in class, Bueller.
Oh, Bueller. Oh no.
That was Bruce.
Okay, so let's just begin at the beginning. Who is Bruce and why is he calling you?
Who the hell is Bruce? Bruce Jenner?
Nope, just Bruce.
Oh. He's not Bruce Jenner anymore.
Caitlin?
Yeah. Okay, so let's begin at the beginning.
That's a.
Oh my gosh, your
We
face.
We can't even go into that. I don't even know how to.
Not today. We can't
know
go
how to
into that today.
I'm going to put my
Hands.
Whoa! Don't poke me.
Okay, so let's begin at the beginning. If you're gonna win the day, you got to start in the
I'm gonna
morning.
need some cheese after this.
Right? Oh, when you talk about cheese, I just want cheese. Maybe next time we have snacks.
Cheese.
Thing.
All right. Okay.
Winning the day, right, starts in the morning, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Okay,
I
so
feel like that's where it has to start, or it might start the day before.
Sometimes that's
yeah.
the hardest part of the day.
Planning.
Start in the morning.
What? What'd you say? I feel like you said something sexual.
Not
Right.
him.
Not Jordan.
He wouldn't do that.
Never. He would never do that. Okay, so listen, focus. All right, so winning the day starts in the morning or even the night before, because you talked about, okay, so I want to set these goals for tomorrow or this week or whatever, and then in the morning, let's say we decide, okay, we're gonna go to the gym, because this is what we do. We decide that right the night before, and then we say if we get in bed before 9:30, then we'll go to the gym.
That was 10. Right, in bed, sleep.
In
10.
bed, right? Because you know what happens after that. What?
9:30.
I wasn't with you.
You okay? Get her meds. You're one of them.
Defibrillators? Defibrillator?
AED.
All right, so morning routine.
Defib.
Let's say we decide that we're going to get up for the gym in the morning, right?
Yeah.
And let's say we do it, right? Let's say we get in.
You did it. Okay, so. So we decide whether we're going to get up or not, because you need so many hours of sleep. We need like 14?
Mm-hmm.
14, 15?
A solid 72 hours is what we need.
To get to the gym for an hour.
Yeah. So we go to sleep. We're in bed by 9:30, sleeping by 10:30, because some of us toss and turn. Wink, wink. I know. And then we get up at 4. Maybe sometimes we set the alarm for 4:12.
Yeah.
Listen,
yeah.
4:12, and then we get up and out of bed maybe like 4:25. I don't know.
Yeah, 4:20, 4:30. We're out of bed.
But so we get to the gym, right? And then we work out. We only get about an hour. We get back home.
At least by discussing this,
yeah,
I can really see how ridiculous we are.
What do you mean?
With our winning the day or starting the morning, it's like, we're gonna get this. And it's like, oh, this is actually good though.
Yeah. All right, what were we saying? So it's good to discuss it because then we can work out the kinks.
Yeah, because I listen to a lot of Andy Frisella and Sean Whalen and Ed Milet. It's like we start talking about this stuff, and it's like, well, we're gonna win the day. Okay, we go to bed we try to get in bed at 9:30. Try to be in bed by 10. Sometimes 10:30. Sometimes it's 11.
Mm-hmm.
Depends on how much we talk, laugh, whatever else is in there. However you want to describe that.
Use your imagination.
But the problem with that is then the alarm goes off and you're like, oh, I didn't get enough sleep, and it's our own damn fault. Basically, you know how I am. I take things a little differently. If I want to be lined out, it's like slap me in the back of the head and say, get your shit done. Quit being that way.
Yeah.
I was going to say a lot of 4-letter words in there, but I didn't. But I feel like you're similar, but not to that extent.
Right.
I literally, like, if the alarm went off and you reached over and you're like, bam, get up, you bitch. I'd be like, I'm out. I'd be at the gym in like 4 minutes.
Yeah.
But
run away, quick.
I roll over and you're like, I'm asleep. I'm like,
up.
oh, this is all your fault.
It's all your fault.
But that's one thing about winning the day is, like, we feed off of each other.
I
and
know.
we've talked about this. It's like, all right, well, I don't have to get up. I can do this later.
Yeah.
But then when you do stuff later, it screws up the whole day.
Yeah.
The whole day is just.
And when we go to the
miserable.
gym,
Discipline
right?
is freedom.
When we make it to the discipline is freedom.
That's true.
It's very true. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, but.
When we make it to the gym, though, right? When we get there, when we get up, we get ready, we go. Like we feel so much better when we're done, right?
Yeah. Even.
What? Why are you so cussing?
I've said like one swear word. Go back.
He's all French toast.
I can use 17 of them.
I know. All right. So when we actually get there and we get it done, we feel amazing when we're done, right? We're like, yes, we got that done out of the way. What happened?
I'm just seeing if you feel amazing.
I knew that's what you
You got to check? Double check? Triple check?
I just like to do what I do.
Favorite? Never mind. Yeah, it's gonna hurt.
There's no
It's a big one.
See?
It's like this big.
Black
You almost
shirt.
can't fit it in this huge, ginormous chest of his. Look how big it is.
Squirrel.
Mess. Oh, sorry, we're recording. Okay, so we do that. Let's move on. Let's not talk about this anymore. But I feel like what we need to do, I feel like because of the podcast that we've listened to and the people that we're actually trying to derive our information and our learning experiences from, I've listened to this on not only Ed Milet, a podcast that I listened to on Ed Milet, Andy Frisella, and actually I think those are the only two. They've had multiple guests that say if you put your alarm in another room, there's a percentage, a higher percentage that you're actually going to get out of bed. You're not going to hit the snooze button. You're actually going to get out of bed when you say you're going to. So I think I think we should do that.
Hey, you want me to clean the house a little bit right now?
Uh-huh.
All right. So I, in the past, have put the alarm in the kitchen.
Uh-huh.
Do you know what I did?
Huh.
Walked all the way back to the bedroom with the phone and got back in bed.
Really? You know, that's funny because I'll get up in the morning, the alarm we start at 4:12. I'll get up and go to the bathroom and then I'll be like,
Why 4:12?
I don't know. I just like a number that's not.
She can't hit the 4:15, 4:30.
I like a unique number. I like something that's different. I like it when it's.
Hit 4:20.
I don't get high.
Queso.
I can't do it. You think I'm crazy now? You just wait.
You're probably like, this is a gift. Give me some queso.
It's bake and bake and I'll help.
Did I drool?
You
drool.
Yeah, usually. No, that's me.
I know. That's how I was impersonating you.
Oh.
Yeah, I woke up from my queso.
One time we were cuddling and his hand is always like this and it's always right here on my arm. Well, one night I went like this and it wasn't even a night. It was a nap, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, it was when we went camping. We went camping.
Different stories. Go ahead. I'm listening.
No, we went camping and we took a nap camping. It was our first nap ever when we went camping. It was.
It was in the hotel.
No, I mean when we went camping. It was our first camping day. First camping nap. So we were laying there and his hand's right here next to my face. Right?
That's your face.
And I woke up and there was a whole bunch of drool on his hand. It was drool. I just drooled all over his hand and I was like, I felt it and I panicked and I was like I literally was like this.
Like you couldn't feel it.
Yeah, and he totally knew. But I didn't know that until a month later.
I think I was already awake and she was snoring. I was just laying there. I'm like, this is cute.
He just left it. He's like,
Oh,
that's
wake
fine.
up.
I'll wash my hands later.
Oh, God. What is so slimy?
Tell the jalapeno story.
Oh, the jalapeno story.
He's a dinosaur.
It wasn't me. T-Rex.
Look at your little birdie. That's, in a nutshell, that's how it goes.
Yeah.
That's how it goes.
That's how it goes. Oh, you know what I've actually noticed is when I make my bed, and I've done this for probably the last 4 years. When I make my bed, that's the first thing I do when I wake up, and it's purty. Like the bed's purty. I should probably post a video of it.
Because I
Can't compare.
No.
I feel like I make the bed, right? and then I do everything else, get ready for work, go to work, come back. And if my day was crappy, if I had the worst day ever, and I come home and that bed is made, it does something to me.
Because it's an accomplishment for the day.
Yeah, it soothes me, it relaxes me, it makes me feel like I accomplished at least one thing.
Yep. There's a book about that. Make Your Bed.
Make Your Bed.
It's a Marine or something that wrote the book.
We need to really get our references down before we.
I'm gonna read that book and then I'll tell you who wrote it. I'm not gonna make the bed because she's better at it.
I like to make the bed.
Yeah, I'll come down and make the bed down here.
You help me make the bed sometimes. I remember when I first started hanging out here, though. Remember when I was like in the very beginning, it was December, January of this year, when I was just staying here, and I had my apartment still. I just moved in about a month ago, 3 weeks ago. You don't remember?
He says 2 weeks. He's
2
pretty
weeks?
good with numbers.
Yeah, 2 weeks. So, I've had my apartment this whole time, and before I went to work, I would make the bed while you were making breakfast, and he would go upstairs and be like, "Oh, the bed's made.
The magic bed.
The magic bed." I think you sent me a text one time, and you're like, "Oh, I got a magic bed," or something like that. I remember.
I'd call you if it wasn't me. I'd be like, "You okay? Is everything feeling
okay?" He's like, "The bed didn't work
bed.
today. The magic bed didn't work."
I can't find the plug. Where's the plug? Is there a remote for the bed somewhere? Did I miss something?
Okay, so let's talk about our next topic, which is actually feeding your purpose. Or feeding the burn. Whoa. The burn?
Burn.
It's a bad thing.
Go to the clinic for
There's
that.
medication for that. So let's go with purpose. Everybody's got a purpose, right? We all have a purpose in life. Everybody feels like they're here for a reason. Hopefully you feel that way. If you don't feel that way, let's talk about it, because believe me, I've been there. So you wake up every day and you're like, so what is that? What pushes you? What gets you out of bed? What makes you feel like, okay, I got to get this done. And this is why. Is it something that you like? Did you make a promise to yourself? Did you set a goal? For me, and this is 100% honesty. So for me, every day that I actually get up and I feed my purpose, and I feel like I've done something that makes me a better person, makes me help. Well, I feel like I've grown, or I feel like I've changed a little bit in the right direction. That is because of the way that I grew up and the things that I went through. I feel like to see. Okay, I'm gonna just say it. To see my sister in the situation that she's in. Do you not know where to put your hands?
It looks awkward. I'm looking at it. Looks like I'm just like.
Get over here. Okay, so
sorry.
To have grown up in the same situation as my sister, who is a year and a half older than I am, and we are on completely different paths. We've crossed paths a couple times. We've been through some similar situations. So when I'm feeling, which this does happen quite often, when I'm feeling sad, or I feel like I'm not doing enough or I'm not growing enough, then I think about my past and I think about the things that I had been through and how hard I've worked to get to a certain point. I haven't reached my goals yet, but that's because there have been setbacks, obviously. But I work every day to do a little bit more and try to reach those goals. So that's my purpose. I feel like I've got to just fight to be better than I was the day before. Like I have a hard time, and I think that a lot of people actually struggle with this, is not comparing yourself to other people. You see somebody online and you're like, oh, they've got a great life and they've got this car or that car, they've got this house, they've got a boat and a million different things, and you're like, oh my gosh, I should have been there already. I should have done that. I try to just be better than I was the day before, be the best version of myself that I can be, and some days that's really hard, but
there is a healthy version of comparison, though. I mean, because I try not to compare myself either, but in turn, there's also like, all right, this is where I want to be. What did it take to get this person there?
right.
I look at some of the people I follow, some of the people I listen to, and I'm like, dang, there's nothing wrong with comparing yourself if you can visualize it as healthy. It's like, all right, that's where I want to be. How do I get there? I see this person here. What goals do I need to achieve? What do I need to do on a daily basis? Like winning the day. What's it going to take every single day? Like, say I want to be a Andy Frisella or a Sean Whalen or somebody in that respect. What did it take them to get there on a daily basis? What do I need to do every day? So, I mean, that covers like winning the day and setting your goals in that respect, and pushing myself to do that.
So you compare.
In that respect, yeah, sometimes I do. But if I try not to do it, and I'm definitely guilty of it. I go to the gym and I'm like, oh man, why is that guy bigger than me? I've been going to the gym twice a day. I've been doing this, and it's like obviously he's doing something better. Right. So I have to check myself all the time. I'm like, well, apparently I'm not doing what he's doing. Maybe he sleeps more. Maybe he eats better. Maybe he does this. Maybe he does that. That's so just what it is.
There's unhealthy comparison, and then there's healthy.
There's definitely unhealthy comparisons, but unhealthy comparison for me is basically jealousy. I mean, when you see it, you're like, oh, I should be there. That's jealousy. How did they get there? Where was the starting point?
Exactly.
So it's a bigger, for me, it's a bigger picture.
A very good point. Yeah, because I've done that a couple times.
Fantastic.
All right, so win the day, feed your purpose.
Boom.
No. Yes, we're gonna do that, but that's...
No, outro. Is that a word?
No chance.
That's not it.
I know.
It says outro. I got it.
There.
I got it.
Hello.